and welcome to Cinema Literate, where we discuss film form and how to make movies. Finally! Today, we are going to be discussing how HBO's Euphoria uses lighting as an extension of story and of a character's wants and needs. So stay tuned, this is going to be a good one. Light and color texture a scene, make it palpable, and create depth and structure. Imagine seeing a photograph of an oil painting. The beauty isn't lost, the image still vibrant and the story still clear. But then imagine seeing the original oil painting in person, seeing the grooves and hills and valleys of the oil, the texture popping off the canvas and being able to see the directional complexity of the painter's stroke. Well, that's what light does for film. Film noir has mastered the technique of light and shadow. They took flat, natural images and made them supernatural and surreal. They gave light a narrative purpose. Add a little smoke or fog for atmosphere and you can practically feel the image with your eyeballs. When in previs, think about the story you want to tell and design the lighting to accentuate the story's pace, tone, and themes. And then, crank it up to 11. Are you shooting a coming-of-age indie? What can you do to make the lighting an extension of the story and not just an element needed to light an actor's face? Are you shooting a procedural crime drama? How can you light it so to show the internal contradictions your police chief protagonists struggle with? Okay, this is very important. Make sure that your lighting is an addition to story, because style without substance is like opening a lunchbox and seeing nothing. Euphoria deals with the complex themes of drug addiction, sexuality, abuse, violence, and it doesn't shy away from anything. And the show's lighting design is the cherry on top, the explanation point to drive everything home. Alright, let's talk about a few setups and see how lighting can be an extension of a character's needs. Kat is a character who has a very specific goal entering in her new year of high school. She is desperate to be seen as
a woman of questionable morals.
As she progresses down her path of unrighteousness, she is introduced to her antagonist.
Hey, I'm Ethan.
Ethan is a kind and genuine person who ignores Kat's facade and just likes her for her. Okay, so I say Ethan's her antagonist because he's indirectly standing in her way of getting what she wants. He presents another option, a conflict of choice for Kat, the dark or the light. At one point, a misunderstanding occurs between Kat and Ethan. We, the audience, knows that this was an innocent interaction between Ethan and the girl, but Kat refuses to confront it. We start to see Kat feign happiness as she grows more and more promiscuous, and sadly, her shell grows harder and harder. When Ethan confronts her about her absence, she brushes him off, refusing to see what's right next to her.
Why are you suddenly being so mean?
So how do the creators show Kat what she needs with lighting? Well, we go from this
I get off work at 7. You wanna hang out?
to this. By framing Ethan in the halo glow of the projector, we are shown that Ethan is her guiding savior, her literal light in the dark world she's fighting so hard to be a part of. And we are shown what Kat needs, and she is only focused on what she wants. This is perfect visual exposition and great visual storytelling. Let's look at another way lighting is an extension of a character's wants and needs. Nate Jacobs struggles throughout the season with his sexuality. He was raised by a closeted father who has illicit affairs with young gay and trans individuals, and a mother we don't know much about except for our unreliable narrator's perception.
He didn't like his mother either. She was weak and a pushover. Plus, she didn't take care of herself.
Nate has two brothers, though we only ever meet one of them in the show, and he is...
His older brother Aaron was a fuck-up.
We have no idea what happened to his other brother. Not only that, but Nate is a person who absolutely must practice complete control and dominance over everything. And he's walking on eggshells every second he's on screen. So how do the filmmakers show us Nate's internal struggle for absolute control and dominance over himself and everything with lighting? Anytime Nate feels out of control, he is lit in harsh, cool tones, much of the time being lit with fluorescence. We see that here, and here.
Did you do it? Not really.
His girlfriend Maddie is hooking up with a new guy in front of everyone, and she says this,
Suck my dick.
ridding him of any control over her he thinks he has. Immediately, he walks right into the bright fluorescence and smashes everything in sight, totally out of control. Now, in order for this to pay off, we need to see Nate in another light. Nate has an idealized version of himself he wishes he could be, and at the same time, kill off a lot of conflict. He is in love with Maddie, who is one of his antagonists. And look how the scene is lit when he first meets her.
That's one of the first things he noticed about Maddie. She was basically hairless.
The warm tungsten tone backlights him as he turns to look at Maddie. What's interesting is even though Nate is backlit, he is actually walking into the light. These warm tones suggest to us that this is the life he wishes to have, his idealized version of what comfort is. And even in his most violent moments, the scene is lit in this warmer tone, suggesting the desire to be what he knows he's not. As the series progresses, so does the pressure on Nate. They begin lighting his face in both fluorescent and tungsten tones. Nate's barely hanging on, and he may think he's wearing a strong mask, but the lighting suggests otherwise. What a perfect way to visually show subtext in a character's internal contradiction. Okay, so this next part delves a little bit into color theory, but stick with me, it'll pay off. How do the filmmakers support the overall story of a young addict experiencing love, a sober life, a relapse, anxiety, truth, chasing the highs, warnings, and danger all at the same time for the first time with lighting? The creators chose to represent the show's themes with the color purple. There is purple everywhere, and there's a reason why, and it's amazing and beautiful. I'll get to that in a moment. First, I want to talk about what I think some of these lighting and color choices mean. In the pilot, we meet Rue in the middle of a high. She is sharply and specifically lit with blue and red lights dancing over her face. We see red and blue lighting at the parties, we see red and blue lighting painting over Kat as she fraternizes with the young boy who will take her virginity. And then we see red and blue when Rue is rescued from her first overdose.
That's when they get uncool. It's actually a very narrow window of cool.
I'll wait with you until your mother comes home.
The red and blue lighting means two things to me: the chase of the high and the warning. In the first scene, when Rue is chasing the high and the red and blue dances over her face, suddenly it fades to black and then opens back up with Rue now basking in purple lighting, but only for a split second. What's interesting about purple is that it is a constructed color of red and blue. As these characters chase whatever it is that gives them that high, the show is often lit with red and blue. And as soon as the characters find that comfort in the highs, the blue and reds merge and bathe them in the iridescent purples. But the purple always fades, turning back to its native blue and red, because the addict will always chase, and the high is never permanent. Blue and red also suggests danger and warning to the characters when they're straying too close to the edge, similar to the blue and red of a police or ambulance lights. They are a sign for us to pull over and reevaluate our situation before it's too late. For example, in this scene, Nate is warning McKay, albeit in a very aggressive and condescending slut-shaming way, about the girl McKay likes and her, quote, promiscuous ways.
So Cassie's a whore. Fact.
No, she's not. Fact. She's not even that type of girl.
Oh, have you seen her slut pages though?
No.
Yeah, well,
Look, all I'm saying is, I think you did Cassie. That's it.
okay, whether I like her or not is irrelevant. The fact is, she's a fucking whore through and through, bro.
But the major, overall, and underlying theme of this show is comfort. Purple, in all forms, including the lighting, is about obtaining comfort. The characters of this show are so desperately uncomfortable and are seeking comfort in places that can damage them. So why did the creators of the show decide to light with purple? Well, because it was the color of Rue's dad's hoodie that he was wearing when he died. And she misses him. And it's the only place Rue feels comfort.
I love you for my life. You're a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone, and I was singing this song to you.
That's money for my meal. You're such a fucking bitch. Oh, I'm a bitch? Yeah, you're a fucking bitch because you just fucking sat and shut your ass. Obviously, there's something wrong with her. She's trying to get better. She's fucking mental, and I'm tired of you using it. Do you think this helps? It doesn't matter. I'm done.
where there's no space or time. I love you for my life. You're a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember when we were together. We were alone and I was singing this song to you.
What? You proud?
We were alone.
Go after your sister.
And I was singing this
like her?
song to you.
I don't want to be like you.
We were alone and I was singing this song. Singing this song to you.
Thank you! You made it to the end. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you guys come out with a bit more of an understanding on how to use lighting as an extension of your story and how to support your character's wants and needs with it. How to use it to have some great exposition in your films. Let's go with the formalities. Subscribe to the video, hit the bell notification. It puts me on a priority list. YouTube then knows to push my videos out to everyone. So do that. Go to Patreon because I'm not monetizing my videos here because I can't. I got awesome rewards and tiers for you guys to pledge up to, so you can enjoy that. That's a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you for tuning into the channel. This is Cinema Literate. This channel is dedicated to film form and helping you guys learn how to make movies. And stay tuned. We'll have fun. Bye.